What the Babylonians ate. The oldest cookbook was made around 1600 BC in Babylon. Babylonian chefs wrote down their recipes on clay tablets. 4 culinary tablets have survived to this day. They contain 25 ancient recipes. 21 of them are meat dishes and 4 are vegetarian. The cookbook mentions different types of meat: venison, gazelle, lamb, mutton, and fowl. Seasonings include onion, garlic, shallots, tulip bulb, leeks, salt, and vinegar. In 2018, New York University hosted a big cooking event. It was called an Appetite for the Past. 7 teams of cooks prepared food from different time periods. One of the teams cooked 3 stews from the Babylonian tablets. These dishes are 3,600 years old. A chemist and a culinary historian helped interpret the recipes. The recipes were written in Akkadian. Some words were impossible to translate. Parts of the tablets had been chipped off. The recipes didn't specify the exact measurements. The writers didn't bother to mention the cooking times. Some of the original ingredients no longer exist. Researchers had to come up with the best substitutes. So the team recreated the stews to taste. The Babylonians were the first culture to perfect soups and stews. They had a special method for boiling meat. Globs of fat were added one by one into boiling water. The first dish offered at the NYU event was tuhi. It was a lamb stew with red beets. Cuts of lamb leg were sautéed in a pan until brown. Garlic, shallots, cilantro, and herbs were sautéed in the lamb fat. All the ingredients were then added to a pan with beets. The whole thing was covered with broth. It simmered for hours until the lamb was soft. This dish had an earthy taste. It quickly became the crowd's favorite. The second dish was a vegetarian stew called unwinding. It was made with leek, onion, and dried lumps of barley grains. Chopped onions, leeks, garlic, and salt were sautéed in fat. Then broth and cilantro were added. It simmered for 20 minutes. Then lumps of grains were added. These hard cakes melted into stew. The cooks believe this explains the name unwinding. The taste of the dish also fits the name. It can be seen as comfort food. The third dish was broth of lamb with milk and cakes of barley. Lamb pieces were sautéed in fat. Onions, leek, shallots, and garlic were added. It was covered with salted broth and milk. The dish was slow cooked in a covered pot. Barley cakes were added when the meat was ready. The chef said,
"During the process, I didn't think that it looked appetizing. The lamb is at the forefront of the flavor. But after it had simmered, the sauce thickened. It transformed into something sophisticated and surprisingly good."
These dishes give a glimpse of what food was like 4,000 years ago. Each recipe needed a variety of ingredients. An ordinary Babylonian couldn't easily obtain them. Preparation was quite complex. Researchers believe these dishes were for royalty and the elite. Average Babylonians ate a wide variety of breads and cereals. They made their bread with oil, beer, and wheat flour. The bread would be eaten with fruit. Their diet included melons, plums, prunes, and dates. Babylonian cuisine influenced the Persians and the Arabs.